Thai, and this is the first video from the channel, yay! So I received a question from Kate in the comments, and I'm gonna read what were we talking about. So I posted a quote on Pablo's Instagram, and the quote was like this: "By self-surrender and perpetual union with God is meant that men should merge their will wholly in the will of God, and regard their desires as utter nothingness beside His purpose." So the quote talked a little bit about purpose, and I love these quotes about purpose and things like this. So in the comments I posted, if anyone was interested, I could share quotes about purpose, and Kate was interested. So let's get right into it. What does the Baha'i Faith says about our purpose in life? One time, one believer asked Abdu'l-Baha what was our purpose in life. And Abdu'l-Baha said, it's to acquire virtues. And how beautiful is that? So you know when you're reading the short obligatory prayer and you bump into this little reminder, life reminder, "Thou hast created me to know Thee and to worship Thee." So that is basically the purpose of our life. So acquiring virtues, know God and worship God. And how do we worship God? Well, there's so many ways. Through work, through art, through service, through acts of kindness. And to know God, the scriptures and the writings. So yeah, continuing. So one of our purposes in life is to know God and worship God. Our other purpose in life is to benefit from all the beautiful things that God has sent to us, and to carry forward an ever-advancing civilization, to acquire virtues that we're gonna need in the next world. So Abdu'l-Baha explains this one kind of like this, that you know when we were in the womb of our mother and we were just babies and we were developing arms and shoulders and eyelashes and eyebrows, and for a baby that you're inside your mom's tummy, you would think, why do I need this? I'm just completely fine here. I don't even need legs and I don't need any of this. So acquiring virtues in this life is kind of like that. You are basically acquiring all these things that in this life we might not know the purpose, even though we might benefit from it, of course. But like in the next life, that's when we're going to know why we learned everything that we learned in this life, why we went through all the things that we went in this life. So, to acquire virtues, the other purpose of this life is to endure suffering, because this sounds so bad, but one of the ways that we can show that we are acquiring the virtues, like the way we can test our virtues, test our love for God, is through testing it. So basically tests. So this life is also meant for us to test the virtues that we acquire. And so one of the purposes of this life is for us to suffer. But yeah, it's a good thing. How can we prove God that we love Him if we don't have a test, if we don't show Him, you know? It's just easy to say I love you. We have to have a way to actually show it. Another purpose of our life is to work. So use our talents, use our life basically to work and create things and learn things and develop things and help others. So one of the purposes of our life is also to work. Yay! But I know for many of us, when you think about purpose in life, we're more thinking like, what should be my next step in life? Like which career, which people should I surround myself? How we do that is through prayer, meditation, and through knowing ourselves. Oh, and one more thing, by listening to our hearts. And you want to know something even more beautiful? Here is a big reason to listen to your heart. So this is Baha'u'llah. This is what Baha'u'llah says. These two quotes are from Baha'u'llah. "All that is in heaven and in earth I have ordained for thee, except the human heart, which I have made the habitation of my beauty and glory." And the next quote is this: "Thy heart is my home." Pause for appreciation. Oh my God. Can you believe God is in our hearts? Holy moly. No wonder meditation is something that the Baha'i writings emphasize so much, because Only through meditation and through silence can we listen to what's inside. So, yes. Anyways, let me continue. Thy heart is my home. Sanctify it for my descent. Thy spirit is my place of revelation. Cleanse it for my manifestation. Guys, oh my God. Okay, so now that we know that God is in our hearts, how do we know what our hearts are trying to say? The way we do that is through meditation. Abdu'l-Baha would commonly end the conversation by saying that there wasn't time for a fuller answer, but if the listener would meditate, the truth would come. So you know, when you have so many questions, what am I going to do with my life? Where should I go? Imagine you're talking to Abdu'l-Baha. This is what he would tell you. So guys, we have to meditate. Like, I wish I could tell you what your purpose in life is, but that's not how it works. You have to ask yourself. You have to seek inside yourself where God is. How beautiful. Even though intuition is something so praiseworthy, like Abdu'l-Baha really liked intuition and stuff like that. Ladies, he even said that in some respects, women is superior to men. Oh! She is more tender-hearted, more receptive, her intuition is more intense. Basically, intuition is very, very important. But then there is a warning sign for it. And this is what Shaggy Effendi says. With regard to your question as to the value of intuition as a source of guidance for the individual, implicit faith in our intuitive powers is unwise, but through daily prayer and sustained effort, one can discover, though not always and fully, God's will intuitively. Under no circumstances, however, can a person be absolutely certain that he is recognizing God's will through the exercise of his intuition. It often happens that the latter result in completely misrepresenting the truth, and thus become a source of error rather than of guidance. So yeah, we can only really truly listen to our intuition if we are praying daily and making a sustained effort to discover what is that is right. Okay? So that's the warning. The other thing that we're going to need if we want to discover our purpose in life is awareness of self. We have to know ourselves. And this is beautiful, especially because in the writing it says that if you know yourself, you will know God. How beautiful. So this is a very strong quote from the Kitab-i-Aqdas. True loss is for him whose days have been spent in utter ignorance of his self. Guys, we have to know ourselves. And then there's this beautiful, amazing, super awesome quote about how to know yourself. The quote is like this. It's, oh my God. Guys, this is amazing. The master key to self-mastery is self-forgetting. Oh my God. Guys, self-forgetting. Can you believe? So, just two more things to remind us of our purpose in life, because we as Baha'is have many purposes in life, so that's good. And this is the purpose of a Baha'i life: to promote the oneness of mankind. The whole object of our lives is bound up with the lives of all human beings. Not a personal salvation we are seeking, but a universal one. Oh my God, how beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful. And continuing, it says, we are not to cast eyes within ourselves and say, now get busy saving your soul and reserving a comfortable berth in the next world. No, we are to get busy on bringing heaven to the planet. Guys, so beautiful. So there is one more thing that I wanted to share with you, and I found it in this book called Divine Therapy, and in the section called Who Am I? And it's a Baha'i book. Regard man as of mind, rich in gems of inestimable value. Education can, alone, cause it to reveal its treasures and enable mankind to benefit therefrom. Why am I talking about education? I think what Baha'u'llah is trying to say is that we must educate ourselves so that we can serve others better and so that we can serve ourselves better. one of the things we can do to educate ourselves about the topic is to read books that talk about the topic and learn what it really means. We can always learn from everyone. I want to share a few books that are very good for you that are really doubting what to do with your life. These books have really helped me, and then I'm going to share a few things that I learned on my journey. The first thing I want to share is this one. Vignettes of the Life of Abdu'l-Baha. It talks about the life of Abdu'l-Baha, and his life is perfect, and it just makes me reconsider my life every time and make me know the right path and the right things to do, the right things to say, how to behave, things like that. Abdu'l-Baha is amazing, amazing. I really recommend this book, really, really, really. The other book that I would recommend if you're wanting to master the art of living is The Divine Art of Living. To the non-Baha'i books, I would say that this is my favorite book, and it's all about discovering what is your ultimate destination in life. The name of the book, you might know it, is The Alchemist. And the second book that I would like to share, this book, it's called The Power of the Heart. Basically, it has all sorts of different authors that talk about the power of the heart and intuition and how to hear your heart, and reminding you that God is in our heart. So this is a very strong, special tool. Oh, okay, so since I'm here, and if you're really, really doubting, having doubts about what to do with your life, I just want to share my experience because, I don't know, it's good to share. That's what friends do, no? One quote that I really wanted to find for you, but I didn't find it, but it was a quote, a Baha'i quote, that when I read it, it really inspired me. Really inspired me. It just basically molded my life. The quote said something like in the lines of, it's not the actual quote, so don't quote me on this. And the quote was that we should use all our talents. All our talents. All of them. A-L-L. All of them. To serve. All of our talents. That means drawing, cooking, singing, cleaning, speaking, making people laugh. I don't know, whatever your talent is, but not one talent, one of your strongest talents. No, all of them, all of them. To serve, even more beautiful, not just for your own good, but to serve humanity, people. So when I read this quote, I was like, okay, how can I use all my talents during my lifetime? And that's how I developed the idea for my business. I might also add that I learned a lot about these things from these other people that are non-Baha'is. People like Tony Robbins, Abraham Hicks, I don't know, Oprah. I don't know if they're right, but they do guide you somewhere. In this book, I realized that you should listen to yourself, know who you are. I think it's to realize what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at, what is easy for you, what makes you scared. If you're scared of something, it's usually because you're not listening to what makes you happy and you're going the wrong direction. So you have to be aware of what you're scared of. Sometimes your mind is telling you to do one thing, but your heart is telling you to do something else. And you're very conflicted. That's when you don't know what to do. It's when your mind is saying something and your heart is saying something else, and you just really don't know what to do. And then how you realize when it's the mind speaking and when it's the heart speaking is that when the mind is speaking, it's going to be thoughts like, I think this is the good thing to do because of this, this, and this. And when it's your heart speaking, or your gut feeling, or whatever you call it, your instincts, you're going to feel it. So you're going to feel, I feel good about this, I feel bad about this, I feel scared about this, I feel anxious about this, I feel excited about this. It's not, I think this is good, I think this is bad. And since we must follow our hearts, you should always go with what you feel. If you're feeling good, go for it. If you're feeling, maybe not, then maybe you should. There's also this famous quote that is not Baha'i that says, where there's doubt, there is no doubt. So basically, if you're doubting it, you probably shouldn't go for it. So make your own conclusions also. And yeah, I think this is what I have to say for today. I hope this can be very helpful for you, Kate, because you requested this. I hope I didn't talk for hours and hours, but yes, I hope this was very helpful for you. I actually like this. It feels like I'm talking to a friend, even though I'm just talking to a camera. Talking to myself. What a loner. Anyways. Oh, okay. If you have any other questions, if you would like to dive into another topic, and you would like me to do it, I would love to do it. I actually want to do loads and loads and loads and loads of videos. So give me suggestions, send questions, all that jazz. Okay, cool. Thank you guys. Bye. Inestimable. Regard man as a mind rich in gems of inestimable value. Inestimable. Regard man as a mind rich in gems of inestimable. Whoa, it's in God's will through the Isaac, ó, tô fazendo um vídeo, tem que fazer silêncio, tá bom?
Tô.
Não mexe não. Dá tchau, dá tchau. Fala tchau, dá tchau aqui, ó. Tchau.
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 Ok, silêncio.